All right, peace and blessings, everybody. It's Monday, June the 25th, the year 2018. I got a letter from Alabama Death Row. His name is Dennis Morgan Hicks. I believe he shares the same cell as Thomas Lane, who's also on Alabama Death Row for murdering his wife. Thomas Lane has maintained his innocence. And in my evaluation of Thomas Lane's case, I believe there's reasonable doubt. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the case against Thomas Lane. But I believe that Thomas Lane's lawyers told him not to talk to me anymore. So our communication is rather restricted. Having said that, I got a letter from Dennis Morgan Hicks. I think he was convicted decades ago of killing 2 people and putting them in a trunk. I've never heard him talk about whether he's innocent or guilty of those 2 murders. He was out on parole for the first 2 murders, and he gets convicted for the murder of Joshua Duncan, who they say he dismembered the body and killed him in a shooting range that was abandoned. But Dennis Morgan Hicks has maintained his innocence. Now let me say this. If you've been convicted of killing 3 people, that would typically make you a serial killer. And if I had any faith in our judicial system, I would not be interested in reading letters from serial killers and giving them a platform. But I'm here to tell you that I hate the FBI, I hate the Department of Justice, and I hate the Bureau of Prisons. Not only do I hate them, but I don't have any faith in them to make accurate decisions about who's guilty and who's not guilty. And so I'm willing to give anybody the benefit of the doubt and listen to their story and evaluate the situation. And if I personally come to the conclusion that they're guilty, well, I'll stop reading their letters because I don't want to give a platform to a serial killer. But I haven't gotten to that point yet with Dennis Hicks. I may get to that point, but I haven't gotten there yet. I don't know whether he's innocent or guilty. But what I do know is that nobody gets a fair trial in America anymore. And that lawyers are the only profession called out in the Bible as a woe. Woe to you lawyers. And so I don't have a lot of faith in our judicial system. Let's play this. Let me say this. If you want to read the letter and you don't want me to read it to you, you go to Dennis Morgan Hicks' Dropbox location. You say, well, I don't know how to get there. Well, you can go to IHateTheFBI.com, click on More Other Prisoners, scroll down to Dennis Morgan Hicks, and you click on this link right here. And it'll take you to his Dropbox. And when you go to his Dropbox, there's going to be a file called DMH 062518. That stands for June the 25th, 2018. And that's the letter that we're about to read. I'm going to hit the play button right now, and this is a little bit of an introduction to what Dennis Morgan Hicks looked like the day they arrested him.
You'll see that they tortured me over there. I'm innocent of this faulty indictment. I haven't done anything wrong.
It's been a year since Dennis Hicks made this same walk to Metro Jail. The now gray-haired convicted murderer from Mississippi still maintains his innocence in the violent death of 23-year-old Joshua Duncan.
I don't know when, where, or how he died. He didn't die at my house. He walked away from my house. I'm tired of these police doing this to me wrong. I've been locked up for over a year for nothing. Hadn't done anything.
Hicks now faces a capital murder indictment 1 year after police found Duncan's decapitated and disemboweled body at this defunct firing range in West Mobile.
All right. So that's Dennis Morgan Hicks. They say he killed this Joshua Duncan at an abandoned firing range. So let's read his letter. This is the envelope that it came in. Dennis Morgan Hicks, Atmore, Alabama. It's the same prison as Thomas Lane. Up in the upper right, he puts, "Thank you for all your help in this response reply getting login." I don't know what he means by getting login. I did send him screenshots of the comments that were left about him in the videos because somebody claimed to know him. And so if, I thought it would be interesting to see if, Dennis Morgan Hicks should see what people are writing about him. He wrote it on June the 21st, 2018. That's 4 days ago. "Dear Brother Rudy, Hi, hope all is well. I sent you a long letter, probably still en route. But I received the photo back and the comment page. Thank you. Is there a limit to photo you can scan and post on the site? If not, I have a few precious ones that mean a lot to me. Mother in them. Let me know if you can post 3 or 5 or how many. I don't know that I'll have a page for Dennis Morgan Hicks, but I can certainly put him in his Dropbox location. Also, you can post my... you guys don't know why I'm laughing. My wife is in the background giving me some advice. We got a phone call. Hold on just one second. All right, peace and blessings. It's June 25th, the year 2018. I had to step away for a while. I'm going to try to pick back up where I left off. Dennis Morgan Hicks says, also, can you post my comment back in response to those who wrote a reply? If so, I'd like to say this. In order, I read them. Paisley Mama, Paisley Yama. I was not the last person to see Joshua Duncan. After he left my house, several step up, like Stephen Waite and his wife, something with Josh about his poster. Man, it's hard to read his writing. Can you guys read this? I was not the last person to see Joshua Duncan. After he left my house, several step up, like Stephen Waite and his wife, laugh with Josh about his poster of him missing around our neighborhood. Police falsely claim something I was on the list, but at home I was here when he walked off on his own. I was there when he walked off on his own. Man, I'm having a hard time reading his writing. Tuesday, September the 6th, 2011. He did leave the day before, but went to the store. Saw him walking back to my house. Pick him up. Pixel Bandit. Call my appeal a horny Rachel Judge at her law firm. Equal Justice Initiative, Montgomery, Alabama. I can't read that number if you can. She has a copy of the transcript and can enlighten you on truthful disclosure of this corrupt verdict. Don't be annoyed. Get involved for truth and justice to win out over wrongful conviction. Mary Robbins Trozos. Win! Exclamation point. You know, I should probably, if you just look up Dennis Hicks. No, it wasn't that one. I wanted to find the comments. Let me type in Dennis Hicks, Lone Star 1776. Here's a second letter. Throw from it. That's Paisley Mama. This is Dennis Morgan Hicks' letter from... Okay, there's Pixel Bandit. Oh, here we go. Mary Robbins Trozos. So if we're gonna read Dennis Hicks's response, we should probably read Mary Robbins Trozos' screenshot. Here's what Mary Robbins said. I have known Dennis Hicks since 1985. I met him when he was in Parchman, Missouri for the first double murder sentences. And yes, that is the same Dennis Hicks in the video. I was in prison also, and he latched onto me due to my lack of knowledge of the games they play. He started writing to me with the same song and dance of Born Again Christian, and how he was railroaded and completely downplayed his part of the murders he was serving time for. The story he told me was that the gay men tried to have sex with his nephew, and he went to defend his nephew. However, he left them dead in the trunk of a car and fled to avoid prosecution. I believed him at first, but when I was released from prison, he began asking me to do things for him that he knew was detrimental to my legal welfare. And yes, I did sneak into the prison to visit him, and that put me in jeopardy. I realized that a Christian would not have asked me to do those things he wanted me to do. It quickly turned into, "What are you willing to do for me?" He told me all the exact same things he has written to you in letters in 1985. He used the church to get money sent to him, favors for him, and anything he can con an unsuspecting person through compassion. He is a master manipulator. It only took me about a year to come to my senses. I am a fairly good judge of character. I can see beyond the words said to me and go by their actions. I have studied psychology and sociology. I believe in my heart that Dennis Hicks lied about the murder of the first two murdered. He changes his story to each person he tells it to. I also believe he murdered this young man. I believe in my heart that Dennis Hicks is a serial killer and does not ever need to be allowed to live in society again. You can verify this information through him. Don't take my word. Feel free to ask him if he knew Mary Robbins in Parchman in 1985-86 and that I visited him in prison, wrote to him, accepted phone calls from him. I agree with you about the judicial system. It is corrupt as hell. They can and will railroad you in a heartbeat. But in this case, they are right about this man. So that's who Dennis Hicks is responding to. When 30-plus-year-old broken romance? I'll say this. She meet me coming out of, I can't read the word, man. Somethingville. Curseville. Learning to master my life by faith, not sight or feeling. Since she throw the blame on me, I'll accept. Please forgive me. I should not allow you to volunteer so much wrongful activities. I'm more guilty than you. I refuse marrying you half a dozen. I refuse marrying you half a dozen because of the things you was doing. I should have been wiser and guided you in a more godly living. If we meet now, I would. I failed you then. My apology. You did get so many things wrong in your comments. Truth always wins over a lie. It is on court record the two men attempted to rape JoJo because if their assault and attack, I shot and killed them. It is because of their assault and attack I shot and killed them. Both. Now, I've always wondered about the first two murders. I always wondered, what his position was on that. And it appears that he's saying, was that his nephew? Hold on just a second. Yeah, his nephew. I guess his nephew is named JoJo. So he had two gay men that were trying to rape his nephew JoJo. And he's saying right here, I shot and killed them both. I stood up at 21, spoke the truth, refused legal deals, and such of manslaughter. The judge sentenced me to 2 life sentences before he died. He ordered them concurrent. I did 25.5 years. The summer back to Mobile, Alabama by my mother to become her full-time caregiver. I will never regret making. After over 5 years, the police found out I was there. The bias and prejudice of Lieutenant Andrew Peake, the blindness of an ex-offender actually living a peaceful, righteous, godly lifestyle. Never enter his hateful heart. I something and admit at 21 I did shot each man. At 53, while I worked and was active and involved with my church, waiting on a January 2012 clemency pardon to be issued to me, I did not murder Joshua Duncan. It was all a manufactured lie by a misguided Lieutenant Peake, who misused a 3-year-old toddler. I am 100% innocent. I am on death row because of a corrupt verdict. Do a fair research. Call my appeal lawyer for an official disclosure of the truth at 334-269-1803. Attorney Rachel Judge. Jesus versus the world. This is his response back to you. My address is Dennis Morgan Hicks, identity Z-804, tier 0 cell 3700 Holman, Atmore, Alabama. You know, you can find his address on yearofjubilee.com. I am seeking to rally up volunteers to gather up absolute truth that shows and proves and supports my innocence. The 3-year-old toddler was in the state of Illinois in Chicago from June 10th, 2011 until late November 2011. Police claim Joshua was killed in September. His body found October 24th, 2011. After dozens of bribes of toys, sweets, adults telling the 3-year-old to repeat what they told him, he in fact said Uncle Dennis did fight and kill Josh. He saw it. But remember, the police only presumed the child was with the other 2 little ones. But the grandmother could not care for all 3 and asked the other grandmother in Chicago to help. She agreed and rode a bus to Mobile in June of 2011, picked up the toddler. While she kept him, hundreds of people saw and talked and played with him. Church members, Sunday school, daycare workers, pastors, family members, friends, neighbors, medical people, doctors, nurses, x-ray people from a tricycle injury. Lots of photographs, all sort of absolute truth. He was there. But the poisoners, I think he means prosecutors, the pollute corruption of the police district attorney after $1 million to falsely and disregard all the real evidence. They made up their own, claiming the 3-year-old took them to the location of the killing inside the house. The tree where Joshua was supposed to have been hung. They got dogs to sit there, got a dozen child care experts to piece the horrible killing out of the child, and all misguided by the Lieutenant Andrew Peake. The boy was in Chicago, Illinois. Something absolute truth. 100% absolute truth. How could he at 3 guess all these clues leads to a honest police? They faked it. Remember, all of the dozens and dozens of forensic science tests did not lead back to me. Not DNA of blood, hair, nothing. Nor at the house the police lied about Joshua getting killed at. It never happened. It was a rig, set up by a corrupt policeman and agreed upon by a corrupt district attorney, and a judge in the sentencing order claim I sentence you to death because I believe the 3-year-old boy. Do you understand how well their so-called righteous phony face masks really are? Not one person in Mobile claimed the child was in Mobile, Alabama in September 2011. Only they lying, Lieutenant. Both his parents was in prison, but they was aware of the child going to Chicago, talked to him there by phone. Both of his grandparents testify one sent him there. Other kept him there. 100 body asked none of the 3 children. I begged and begged my sell-out lawyer to do right, but they got their 30 pieces of silver and did not do 20% of all I asked for them to do. Something where about expert tests to show the safe lying on autopsy, etc. I can't read that word. I was railroaded by corrupt individuals. that receive not hundreds of thousands, but rather millions of dollars. Ashley Rich and Jennifer Wright are corrupt officials that got off on sending people to death row. Get drunk on winning corrupt verdict. They are truly sick ones. I am 100% innocent of this and made up charge. They put it capital cause of 30 plus parole something in MS. That I was and came back to my hometown by, I can't read his writing, man. Something summer to keep her out of the rest home. Mother, to keep my mother in the summertime, to keep her out of the rest home. My sibling was trying to do and became her full-time caregiver. I'll never regret doing it either. I am ashamed that my hometown officials, some are so biased and prejudiced, still have the Jim Crow era hatred in their spirit to spread evilness and wickedness around behind a phony mask of supposedly self-righteous fever. Pray for them, I do. Only God can save their rotten, spoiled souls. Tabitha Easterling, you are sadly mistaken. The police lied to you. The court to the neighbor, those two boys love me dearly. They was played a cruel game by a biased, prejudiced policeman named Lieutenant Andrew Peak. The 4-year-old Jason Jr., known as Bubba, recorded his statement out. He was 9 in trial. He said the Sweets toys was a game. He did not see no fight. Uncle Dennis did not have one. He was at the residence. The 3-year-old toddler was not. He actually was in Chicago, Illinois for 6 months of 2011, from June until November of 2011. Hundreds of people can and know him there. The policemen manufacture a horrible story, and I am deeply sympathetic to your loss and pain. I do not have any remorse, Miss Tabitha, because that comes from guilt and wrongdoing. I helped Joshua, and it has cost me liberty and relationships. So much in so many ways. Lost all my worldly possessions. Family, friends, like you, believed the police lies over the truthful truth of the innocent. Both the boys live over in Simmer, Fairview. Neither of them will tell you they call me a monster. The police you idolize is the one you need to direct your comment to. Look at Lieutenant Andrew Peak in the face. Ask him if Chance Morris was in Chicago, Illinois or not. Ask him to give you person who'll testify of it. I can and shall dozens of something in my new trial. He lied and I told the truth. If you ever really did love Joshua, make it your business to find out about him, especially how he is supposed to have been killed by who. It was not me. District attorneys start with me. Learn for yourself if I did it or not. Since I know I did not, you'll at least honor his memory and found out who did not kill him. Others' bodies been did not many miles from where his was. Other bodies been found not too many miles from where his was. I got to just interject here. Sometimes the writing is so bad that I do the best that I can. If I make a mistake, that's on me. I'm trying to read these prisoners' letters the very best I can, but the writing is very difficult sometimes. Some condition unsolved yet. There are plenty of forensic science evidence from them. If the hairs match and I am in jail, does just the pre-police saying I did it, too, enough to please you? I did not murder nobody in Mobile, Colorado, Alabama, none. This includes Joshua. Something comment 6, checkpoint. Sad but true. Such wrongful things have happened. I was told 3 people in 20 years, period, have been found by the police property with the same condition Joshua body was found in. something planned, not 25 miles down the road, another body was found with his head and arms removed, unsolved. They have tagged to destroy my life. They have tried to destroy my life. They cost me liberty, relationships, reputation, branded a shameful, disgraceful lie on my name and record, but God is not pleased with their corruption. I'd shall exonerate me. Oh, he shall exonerate me. I will be vindicated from this, because I did not do it. My own comment. My name is Dennis Morgan Hicks. I am 59 years old, here on Holman death row. Order by Judge Charles Graddick. The corrupt verdict was both poison and polluted by Lieutenant Andrew Peake, and agreed upon by Ashley, Rich, and Jennifer Wright, and they have tried to cover up the truth. Me, the hundreds of thousands of dollars they wasted on a misguided bias, prejudice, Lieutenant something coached a 3-year-old with sweets, toys, and once he got him to repeat his lies, I'd went to the coroner, child care expert. So many official people that are probably decent individuals. He poisoned their minds with the claims he had an eyewitness to a horrible murder, but got his promotion and pay raise. But it was and is built on a manufactured falsehood. He lied, misguided all the agencies. Something me reinforce the sheriff department and got people in the neighborhood, my church, my family, believing in lies. From supposedly telling them I was killing my own family members, that I killed Joshua Duncan. He went and told vicious lies to dozens and dozens of individuals. Then goes to the Metro County Jail, has Lieutenant Wood, Lieutenant Houston beat me, got a liar, a known jailhouse informant to lie for his freedom at a 5-time drug dealer who was supposed to receive a life sentence, but I heard he got only 30 months for his lying testimony. I ask for your prayers for truth and justice to win out in this case. I seek to volunteer to help gather up the real evidence in Chicago, Illinois, and Mobile, Alabama, to help preserve and save it for a jury to hear the real truth. It is almost 7 years this double tragedy has happened. The appeal court will soon be returning my reversal from this corrupt verdict. I want go into my next circuit court trial armed with the absolute truth, show and proves my innocence. The corrupt lies aren't that good where they can dispute the truth. If government is willing, if you're willing to help, please contact me and for my appeal lawyer, Miss Rachel Judge. 334-209 or 207, I can't read it, 1803. I hope a law student, a project center, lay people will get involved, help correct this injustice, help right the wrong that's been done to me. God bless and Godspeed. I'm 100% innocent. Sincerely, Solidarity of Christ, Dennis Hicks. So, that's Dennis Hicks right there. He claims he's innocent, and that's his story. I pray that you use the discernment that God has given you and you follow your conscience.